Now, today's news out of Cleveland is giving hope to some local families whose children have gone missing. Aarti Pohl speaks to a GTA father who has been looking for his son for 3 decades.
He still fondly remembers his son Eric. More than 30 years ago, the teen disappeared. Lloyd LARSFOLK remembers that night well.
Eric said he was going to the neighbors.
They had just moved to Caledon, but that night, LARSFOLK got a knock on the door. His son and a friend were missing. He's never stopped looking. Just 2 weeks ago, the 82-year-old went back to the last spot where his son was seen.
As long as Eric's missing, I'll hope he's alive. How else can a father feel?
He's happy that families of 3 women in Ohio now have this weight lifted.
I can imagine all the goose pimples. I can just imagine, going right through your spine.
But he isn't the only person from Ontario still searching.
If there's any compassion within you, then I urge you to make that call.
A plea from the Morin family after their daughter Nicole went missing in 1985. The 8-year-old was last seen leaving her Etobicoke apartment. She still hasn't been found. But police say outstanding cases are rare. Police say a majority of missing persons cases are resolved. The federal agency that tracks missing persons reports says in 2011 there were more than 23,000 adults and children reported as missing, out of which 85% of those reports were removed in a week. Those Ontario numbers include repeat runaways. What keeps hope alive for families with people who have been missing for years are the so-called miracle cases. Cases like J.C. Dugard, who was abducted, then held captive for 18 years, but survived. And Elizabeth Smart, kidnapped from her bedroom when she was 14, but found 9 months later. For families left with a hole in their hearts, cases like that offer hope to keep searching. And now Toronto police say there's a variety of reasons behind every single missing person's case. They say in some cases it's a teenager running away from home or someone trying to escape back to their home country. Sometimes it's the case of a parental abduction, or in other cases it might be related to mental illness or dementia. But they say community vigilance is important. They say that there are fewer than a dozen cases where people have vanished without a trace. Thank you, Aarti.